We're going in the Thessaloniki Archaeological Museum. This is a giant amphora, probably used for grain or buried and used for cistern water. It's gigantic. It's a nice spot. Looks like a very nice museum. This exhibit is about the influence of gold. This is gold in the ancient world. Gold and silver were used primarily for jewelry to show wealth and status. It was worn during lifetime and also in death, where they put their jewelry on and kept it in the grave. That's where you have all these grave robbers. This is used for decorations because you can pound it as thin as paper or thinner than paper and adorn fabrics, weapons, what have you. Can't see this one. And of course, gold and silver are used in coins, and each value you can trade the gold for goods. Makes sense? The two basic techniques they used for gold were casting and pounding into sheets and then using the sheets. Like a lot of the gold rings were cast. Of course, all the gold plated is all sheets. Now, we've mentioned before how you can pound it to very thin sheets. So they would make things like this: leaves, branches. After you put gold into sheets, then you emboss it. These pictures don't show up very well because the exhibits aren't really well lit. Like this one, you can't see anything. It's a bronze helmet, and they would cover the whole thing with gold leaf for the generals and the important persons. crown. All gold. It's a burial chamber. There's gold headdress, amphora, some pieces of bone. Decorated on the inside. It's another gold crown. It's a bracelet. And crown. They find all this stuff in graves. No wonder grave robbing was big business. Now we're getting into silver. Also gold crown. They have an exhibit, a city in ancient Macedonia during Hellenistic and Roman times. Children were taught reading, writing, and mathematics. Special laws. Physical fitness of children, 14 to 18. Military training from 18 to 20, and conscription in the army from 20 to 30. They were taught writing. They covered a board in wax, and then they scribed using a stylus on the wax. And when they want to erase, they used the broad end of the stylus to erase the wax. There's the stylus. Example of writing. How they scratch the wax to learn writing. Here's some of the weapons they used in 350 BC when they were attacking the city. They had arrowheads. You've seen those movies where the Greeks and Romans shoot all the arrows in the air. But they also used, this is interesting, they also used sling stones, which they would throw using a sling, and they were made of lead. So, the same material as bullets. But there were stones and lead. There were some that made of lead. And they would fling these things, and if they hit you in the head, they could do some damage. Here's the spears they used on these long poles. Where they would raise the poles up, and then in the front they would lower them. And then they would use their short swords. Here's a picture of the soldiers with the shin protection, helmets, and looks like there's a spear in the back of his shoe. I don't know what good that did. They built roads for carts and pedestrians. Here's a mile marker for one of the roads. They labeled all the roads with distances. And of course they had ships. It's a big commerce center, and these are the amphoras that they would use to transport all the liquids and grains. Wine, oils, and other products, the olives, dried fruits. All the vessels that they used. Beautiful. Cups, gorgeous cups. Some of the plans of the farms. Fishing, fish hooks. Beehives. They're very advanced in the Roman times. Greek and Roman. Another amphora for storage. Scales, weights for the scales. They could do a lot of commerce. They had makeup, perfumes, makeup, hair pieces, jewelry, all the stuff of civilization. Beautiful marble tables. Crude chairs, tables. There's a kitchen scene. They had a pretty complete civilization. I mean, all the basics is like you have today, except now we complicate everything, of course. Now we got cars, pollution. Yeah, this is BC, before Christ.
3,000 years.
Yeah, 3,000 years ago. I mean, they had, they didn't have medicine and advanced medical techniques. That's the big difference. I mean, they only lived at what? Average age of 35, probably. But we live longer today, but I don't know. If you were healthy back then, you had a pretty decent life. As long as you were one of the upper or middle upper class, not a slave. Am I babbling? Is that what you said? Here's a burial chamber that they would normally use. they put. This is. These are cremation jars. Either could be buried or cremated. They found a tomb. Here's the door of the tomb. And this is all the stuff that was buried in the tomb. Oh, 2 beds with skeletons. 2 marble beds. Some of the beautiful vases. They depict myths from Greece. Details in these folds. It's all carved out of marble. These could have all been painted also. They were probably painted. So those eyes would have been painted. These vases are beautiful. Beautiful vases. It's a flute, beautiful vase. Here's a mirror. Interesting construction. You don't see anyone playing the lyre for some reason. Greek theater.
Δεν κουβαλά, πώς θα κουβαλάς αφού είσαι καβάλα. Κουβαλά, αυτά εδώ καβάλα. Και πώς θα κουβαλάς, καβάλα. Σαν καβλί, σαν καβλό, σαν καβλό, σαν καβλό, καβαλινό.
Look at this. These vases are just gorgeous. Thessaloniki, this is where we are right now. It's right there. This is a big center in trade. It's right on the crossroads of pretty much everything. As far as the land routes go, connection with the sea. Some beautiful mosaics they found. Many urban houses had mosaic floors, also in baths.
Long before the founding of Thessaloniki, there were important settlements around the inner reaches of the Thermaic Gulf. In about 315 BC, the Macedonian king Cassander would force the residents from 26 of these settlements who dwell together in a new city.
Cassander named the city after his wife, Thessaloniki, half-sister of Alexander the Great. The city's location was highly advantageous. It was the safest harbour in the northern Aegean, with easy access to the hinterlands through the Axios Valley. At the same time, it was ideally situated for communication with all the important cities of Macedonia.
Thessaloniki was built according to the Hypodamean system, its streets running at right angles to one another. It was the second most important city in the Macedonian kingdom after Pella, the capital.
Thessaloniki functioned like all Greek cities, with its citizens organized into tribes and demes, that is to say townships. It had a council, and a senate, and its own administration. But in practice, the Macedonian king controlled its foreign and domestic relations through royal officials, the overseers. The city quickly developed into Macedonia's most important military and commercial hub.
Residents from other Greek cities would come to settle here. Through trade routes, new forms of worship arrived at Thessaloniki, chiefly from the east. These would continue to be very popular up until the end of antiquity. Thessaloniki was at its center during the Hellenistic age, as the finds which have come to light from the city's cemeteries and the region's Macedonian tombs demonstrate.
This is a floor in a grand house. Look at that. This is I found that death mask of an actual person on 300 AD. 1700 years ago, this person existed. It's a plaster death mask that they found. He was an aged man, and it's a very rare find. So there he is, 1700 years ago. That's what he looked like right after he died. In 1962, they were going to build a courthouse. On the side of the courthouse, they discovered this big Roman center. We saw that yesterday. You would see it in the tapes. A big center with baths and a market, gymnasium. But these are the things they discovered when they were doing the excavations. Look at these. Statues. These are all in the baths and around the different areas. Look at these, gorgeous. Did you see this right here? That's amazing.
Those statues over there would have been decorating the portico or the columns.
We were right here yesterday looking at this.
All standing on the columns.
These statues were standing on the columns. These were all around that square. It's a forum. All of these statues would have been surrounding it. These are all little things they found when they did the excavations. Things they sold in the marketplace. Little bronze figures they probably sold as religious. They worshipped the gods back then. This is the era before Constantine, before the birth of Christ. And then Constantine, he was a Christian, he converted to Christianity, and he founded the Byzantine Empire. And that was the next stage of this civilization. It was the Byzantine era. Look at these gorgeous statues. The head of a young man with idealized features. All kinds of inscriptions. What a find. In 1952 they excavated till 1989. Anytime they tried to build something around here, they run into all of these ancient sites and they have to stop. They've been trying to build the subway forever. They're still working on it. I mean, the whole area was just another city, so you're going to find something pretty much everywhere. People complain about that. Look at these things they found here. I mean, this was part of a temple. Elaborate statues. Columns. Elaborate marble statues. Must have been pretty amazing to see all this in real life. This was the temple. town was a very important town, almost as important as Athens was at certain part times. Here's the prehistoric
This is a cast.
skulls
It's not the skull.
before humans appeared. This is some of the skulls they found in this area.
Paleolithic
Look at this
is
one.
30,000 years before Christ.
The brows on this guy. Neanderthal type. Distant answer. It's a proto-humanoid. Proto-humanoids. Somewhere between an ape and a human. 2 million years before Christ. This guy lived about 200,000 years ago. Notice the brow. These are flint tools used by the first humans, just like to scrape animal hides and cut away the hide from the flesh. Here's prehistoric pottery. Prehistoric means pre-written history. There was no written history. But they did use tools and they created things. They just didn't write anything down.
These are weights that went to the moon. You know, some of these things, like over here,
Yeah.